Hey everyone, it's Chris and I'm here with the 90s cartoon book tag. This tag was created by Ben Sanders and I knew I wanted to do it right away. And I figured it would be a really fast tag to do because there's not that many book questions for it. So we're just going to jump right into it. The first cartoon is Rugrats, which was my jam. I loved Rugrats so much. I still love Rugrats so much. Like Rugrats came out, I'm going to be watching Rugrats. Like, oh my god, yes. Anyway, it is a book find a book that makes you nostalgic. And for that, I'm going to go with A Midsummer Night's Dream. I didn't have any books on my shelf from like middle school before that, so this was the first book I thought I read it in high school. It was my first Shakespeare play that I actually enjoyed, and it was also the first Shakespeare play that I was able to see, and I saw it after I read it, but I was able to see it at a production here in Chicago, and it's just always just thinking back to that performance, and also just my first time really getting like pulled into a Shakespeare play. Next show is another show that I watched, which was Doug, and it's to find a book about growing up, and I went ahead and decided to go with Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Apatali. I guess this is more coming of age. It's Simon trying to navigate his first kind of potential relationship, and also coming out and sexuality and all that stuff, but it was the first book that I thought of when I looked up on my shelf, so I went with that. Johnny Bravo, find a book with a main character you didn't like. 12 Long Months by Brian Malloy. Main character, Molly Swain. I just can't. I just really didn't like her. South Park, find a book with questionable humor. I'm going to go with Two Parties, One Tux. I really didn't have a lot of books for this that I could think of at all, like that I read. But I guess there's some things in this book where I'm just kind of like, that was a little, like, not necessary, essentially. But I'm not going to say what they are because they're kind of towards the end of the book and they're spoilers. But yeah, I like this book a lot, but there was definitely some, if any book on my shelf or that I've read had some questionable humor in it, I'm going to go with this one. Also, Paper Towns. We're not going to go into that. The Powerpuff Girls, which is one of my favorite shows. Funny story about Powerpuff Girls. So for some reason, like a couple of years back, it was like constantly on in my fraternity house. So like everyone would be watching it, and I just feel like I'm okay with this because I love the Powerpuff Girls, but this is a little bit odd that we're always watching the Powerpuff Girls. I'm just thinking. But you know what? It wasn't really odd because the Powerpuff Girls are awesome. And the question is to go find a book with a kick-ass female lead. And I'm going with the Twitches series. Alex and Cameron are both badass female leads in this series, and they become more badass as the books go along, as they're learning more about their powers, as they're bonding more as sisters and becoming more powerful. They are just fantastic characters. I really loved the Twitches series when I was younger. Next up is a show I didn't really like, and the question is really difficult. It is Rocket Power, and it's to find a book with your favorite sports scene, and I literally can't think of a favorite sports scene in a book, you guys. Like, I've been thinking, and I can't. So I'm going to go with something that's kind of sporty, or at least as sporty as they can get for the time period. The Shakespeare Stealer and Shakespeare Scribe have awesome sword fighting scenes, and I'm going with that for my favorite sports scenes. Probably the one in Shakespeare Stealer is my boyfriend's favorite. I think the one in Shakespeare Spy might be my favorite, which is the third book in the series, which is like somewhere. But yeah, these books are what I'm going with for that question. Last is Futurama, which I never really got into or really could stay into. But it's your favorite sci-fi book, and for this one I'm going to go with something that's not on my shelf because my favorite sci-fi books, none of them are on my shelf for some reason. I'm going to go with The Angel Factory by Terrence Blacker, which is a book about this guy named Thomas. It's a children's literature science fiction book about Thomas, and everything's kind of perfect around him, and he's wondering if things are a little bit too perfect. He thinks his family has a secret, and they just might. And it's a really, really fun book. I definitely, it was my first sci-fi book actually, so I just wanted to go ahead and go with that one for this. Alright, that's it. Thank you all for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, you should like and subscribe to my channel. I'm not going to be tagging anyone for this one because I feel like I don't know who to tag and I don't know who has done this. So I'm not going to tag anyone for this one. I'm going to be tagging some people for some things coming up. So just going to do that. But if you want to do this tag, you definitely should go ahead and do it. I don't know if you're into 90s cartoons. If you are, then go do this tag. It's really, really fun. And I'll see you all next time. Have a good morning, evening, night, or whenever you're watching this video. Bye.